questions that I have gathered for you on the primary topics that I believe every couple should discuss. And so I'm going to paste a link on the comments about these questions. I'm Dr. Elena. I'm a relationship expert. I was a couples therapist for 35 years. I believe that relationships suffer needlessly. And so I have compiled the top areas that I believe couples should discuss on their own to avoid these pitfalls. Okay, I'm going to read off some of them. If you are here, feel free to ask a question. And if not, if you're catching this on a replay, make sure to ask your question then, or let me know what you think of it. So these are 20 questions. I call it the 20 questions to make a stronger relationship, and it's a checklist. And so here it is. How will we handle disagreements? What is your definition of emotional cheating? How are we going to handle money and bank accounts? Who's actually going to pay some bills? Which way? Who's going to do them? Okay. And who's responsible for what household chores? This is a very important one because people just assume, right? And they don't quite delineate that. And then what happens when those don't get done? How are you going to deal with that? All right. So number 5, can we agree to always value speaking up over keeping the peace? I'll tell you right now, this is number 1 relationship killer, the silent treatment. I'm certain of that. There are always alternatives. I would rather couples agree to argue than to agree to be silent. I've got all kinds of I have all kinds of content on that, but I'll be doing some more on it. And then the next one is how will we address in-law issues? Huge, huge, huge. I recommend that who's ever parent it is, you deal with your own parents. That way there's not a lot of the in-law disagreeing in the crossover there. So there's also that I really think people should talk about. Oh, here's another one. What do you mean by what does I need space mean to you? Does that mean that you want me to completely leave you alone? Or does that mean you just need some quiet time? You'll come back to me, like define that. Does that mean you want me to leave? Like talk about what needing space is. Talk about your own personal needs for space. So both of you are clear. Next one. Oh, what is your expectations of frequency of sex? Should be discussed. Maybe you don't need to because you've already fallen into some kind of rhythm, but maybe you haven't. So highly recommend you touch on that topic. See what I did there? Touch on the topic. All right. Do we agree? Here we go. I'm at number 10. Do we agree to call each other out on crappy behavior? This is critical. This can avoid using the silent treatment and becoming resentful. You have to both give each other permission to call you out on your crap. Very important. You can't be doing stuff to hurt each other and the other one just sitting there watching and becoming really, really angry. You got to agree to call each other out and agree to listen to each other when you call each other out. Okay, number 4. Ooh, what are you like when you're at your worst? This is code for, do you suffer from depression or anxiety? Have you ever? Are you on medication that I should know about? These might seem terribly personal. I get it. But we also have to understand that we want to know what we're up against. And it's the same thing. I don't want any surprises. If my husband, before we got married, subscribed and like, thank you so much. If my husband had all kinds of predisposing issues he didn't tell me about, I'm going to be really, 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 really angry, especially if those issues get in the way of our marriage. And I'll tell you right now, most do. It's near impossible. Even it's somebody to remind you to take your medication because you really need it. So there you go. What are you like at your worst? Do you get really depressed? Or do you go into yourself, or do you get really, really cranky? Do you hate the world? Do you hate me? I need to be prepared. All right. Where do we stand on birth control or children? That's number 12. I'm at number 12 now, you guys. So yeah, talk about it. That could change. This changes a lot as the relationships progress. But it's always good to have a convo if you do need it. It's better than not when one of you is sitting there wishing you could talk about it, having these undiscussed issues with it and not saying anything at all. All right. Do you have future goals? Number 13, do you have future goals that you know will affect me? As in, are you planning on moving to Asia without telling me? Is this part of your long-term plan I don't know about? You should really let me know. All right. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Number 14, just so for those of you just joining, these are the list of 20 questions I want couples to ask each other, and I will put the link as a comment below. So you don't need to catch them all, but I just want you to see the value in it. Oh, here we go. Number 14. Which traditional or spiritual practices hold significance for you? Maybe there aren't any, or maybe there are, and maybe it's very, very important to me that we go to midnight mass on Christmas Eve, because that's important. Maybe not very, but talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. All right. And the contact with exes. Will we tell each other about exes when there's contact? You got to be open about this, guys. Yeah, I am. My husband is, and it's just one of those that could be really triggering. That could be very difficult, but it's good to get that out of the way and discuss, just in case it's an issue for one of you or both. Oh, here's another one. How much socializing with other people is too much or too little? Because some people are really genuine introverts and want to control this, and some people have no boundaries and everybody's coming in and out and they don't care. And not to say that means no boundaries. They just have a very sort of more open door policy. So talk about it. And a couple more. What will we do together or separately to stay healthy? And then the last one is, what do I do that you absolutely love? It's always good to have these convos so you both know so you open up the floor, you guys, is what I'm trying to think. If you're with somebody very, very important to you, why would you not talk about these critical things? Anyway, so that's really all I had to talk about today, and I will sign off. Do let me know if you found any of these questions helpful. The cheat sheet for it is going to be in the comments. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you.